Alright, how's it going, guys? It's Thompson, or Animania11, and I am back again. It's been, what, like 5 months or something now, since I had my last video and whatever, and, you know, I've been pretty busy and stuff with uni and all that, so hopefully I'm on holidays now, so hopefully I will be able to bring some more of their videos back to the channel and stuff, and then next semester at uni I've got a bit of an easier timetable, so hopefully it will continue then. But today we are kicking things off with a Pokemon Showdown session. This session today is going to be in UU. We'll go ahead and hit that up on here. We'll go over the team in a second. So, as you can see, I did base it around Choice Band Mamoswine. Now, while I was away, while I was at uni, I wasn't really playing Pokemon that much and stuff, but I was still sort of coming up with weird, stupid things to do. So, one of the things that I came up with was, you know what would be stupidly powerful? Choice Band Mamoswine. So we decided to run it. We've got ourselves an Adamant Nature Choice Band Mamoswine here, basically 2KOing everything in the UU tier with Earthquake or Icicle Crash. The only things that don't are fully defensive Suicune and Cresselia. So basically I can bring this in and kill something off as long as it's not one of those two. So we've got ourselves Choice Band Mamoswine, there's that. Now the thing about it is running Choice Band Adamant, it's not the fastest thing in the world. So to pair it up, we've got ourselves a Sticky Web user, we've got ourselves a Focus Sash Galvantula here. I don't tend to lead with it, it's kind of a typical lead, but I don't really lead with it. I still have the Focus Sash on it. I was running Zap Plate just to fake the choice specs or whatever, but it wasn't really working out. So, kind of set up late game Sticky Web, Thunderbolt Switch Bug Buzz, just the sort of normal stab moves there. Then, I thought, you know, we kind of need a way of getting rid of hazards on our own side of the team, so we chucked on Mega Blastoise. I don't really play UU that much, so I just grabbed this this Blastoise spread off the forums. Seems to be doing decently well. We've got the double Mega Booster, Mega Launcher, boosted moves there with Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, Rapid Spin, obviously to get rid of hazards, and Scald for the burn chance. Then with a Water type, I thought, you know, a good call would be a Fire, Water, Grass call with that. So we went ahead and chucked on a defensive Chestnut, just Drain Punch, Spiky Shield, Leech Seed sort of standard moves, and then I was thinking of chucking Spikes on it because we don't actually have any other hazard support apart from Sticky Web, but then I was getting problems with wearing down things, so I decided to chuck Toxic on it, kind of just to help stall things out. Bulletproof allows me to switch into like Sludge Bombs and stuff, and Wall Mega Blastoises that are carrying Water Pulse over Scald. So there's that, and then the fire part is a Chandelure, so this is our choice Scarfer of the team. One of the things with it is that one of the things that this team's really weak to is Mega Beedrill, because if it's a Jolly Mega Beedrill, it unfortunately outspeeds Timid Choice Scarf Chandelure by 1 base point. So if we don't have a Sticky Web up, then that can be a problem, but Choice Scarf Chandelure is really good, really enjoying playing with it. Fire Blast Shadow Ball just stabs, Energy Ball for any water types or ground types or whatever, and then Trick to cripple things because Blissey is in the tier and it likes to switch in on this, so if we can get the Trick off on the Blissey, then that really helps out. And then finally we've got ourselves a Flava Bay, so I've got Defensive Chestnut, and then we've got Special Defensive Florges, sorry, I've nicknamed. They're special defensive with Wish support and Heal Bells, so get just the cleric of the team, I guess. So with that all said, let's go ahead and jump into a battle. Like I said, I haven't been playing that much that often, so we'll see how we go, as we've got our first battle here. Doesn't have any of the things that really threaten my team straight up, but that's not to say that it's not threatening. He's got pretty interesting team here. Porygon 2 can be a bit of a problem to the team just because of its bulk, if I don't get a Toxic or if I don't get a knockoff on it, or Trick. Trick would also be helpful. Speaking of which, I'm thinking leading off with our Chandelure is going to be our best bet. Expecting that to lead off we can get a Choice Scarf Fire Blast off. Obviously it's Dry Skin as he leads off with this Aerodactyl. That's not a great lead for us. We're going to go straight into our Mega Blastoise. Should be able to take any hit he wants to go for, as he just goes for the Stealth Rock. As this turn, going to predict him to go into this thing, what's this thing called again? Heliolisk, and just go for the Aura Sphere. As no, he's just going to go into the Porygon 2 as get a nice solid 40% off on this here, so going to force him to go for the Recover this turn, as no, he's just going to go for the Thunder Wave, at which point we might... He's definitely going to need to go for the Recover, that's for certain. So I think we'll just go out into our Flabébé, our Florges, whatever, sorry, I'm getting confused. We'll get the Heal Bell off, as he's going to go into the Doublade, yep. And from here we can just switch out into... We'll go back into our Arm Cannons, our Blastoise, as we should be able to eat up Iron Heads easily, there we go. And fire back with... We'll just go for a Scald here, I think. So he brings back in the Porygon 2, not getting as much damage off on that as I would have liked, and Aura Sphere we have seen won't take it out from there, so I'm expecting he's going to have Defog on his Aerodactyl, so I think we will just... Will a Choice Banded Earthquake take it out from there? I'm hoping so. So, predicting the Thunder Wave here, go out into this, as it's just going to go for the Recover. As this turn, we might just go for the Knockoff, get rid of its Eviolite, get a crit there. I don't know how much that matters. It's going to go for the Tri-Attack. Is Tri-Attack Mega Launcher boosted? I don't think so, as this turn we'll go back into our Flabébé. We've gotten rid of its Eviolite, so that's definitely going to help in the long run, as he ends up getting a freeze with the Tri-Attack. That really sucks, because now we, unless we defrost, we've lost our Heal Bella and our Wish support, as we're going to need to try and go for a Wish here, as it's going to bring back in the Doublade, and he doesn't have anything with Scald, so we can't even defrost ourselves, so we'll go back into our Arm Cannons here, as it's going to go for the Swords Dance. We do outspeed this, we can hit it up with a super effective Dark Pulse. This doesn't have its Eviolite anymore, so how much was Aura Sphere doing before? It was doing 42%, so without its Eviolite this should, no, not quite knocking it out, so obviously a lowish damage roll there, as this turn we should just be safe to go for a Scald. If we want to bring something in, then we can potentially get a burn on it, or we can just knock this out. So, get rid of the Porygon 2, as it's going to bring this thing in. We will go out into our Flabébé, especially Defensive Wall, eating the Volt Switch, as now this just gives him a free opportunity to go back into this. So, at this point we'll go into our Chestnut, just because even if he does want to Sword Stance up, we can take most of the hits from him. We can't really do anything to him in return apart from go for the Leech Seed, so what do we want to do here? We'll go for a Spiky Shield just to scout out what he wants to go for. He's going to go for the Iron Head there, so get a nice bit of residual damage there between the Spiky Shield and the Leech Seed. So not too bad, but there's not much else we can go for against this. So, unless he's going to switch out, because we want to keep this around to hopefully get a Rapid Spin-Off. If we can get a Rapid Spin-Off, then we can bring this in safely with its Focus Sash and take something out, I would assume. We can't bring this in, we can't bring that in. We might just need to stay in here and just go for another Leech Seed, hopefully seeing what he wants to go for. Ironhead doing a heap of damage there, that's quite concerning, as he'll probably predict us to go for a Spiky Shield, so I was going to go for the Sword Stance. as, let's see, he is going to go for the Sword Stance there, as this turn we will be able to go for the Spiky Shield. We are getting severely worn down here, as he's going to go into his Salamence. Okay. So not too bad. We've managed to wear that Doublade down to a nice 39%, as we are going to double out into our Flabébé as he doubles out, makes a double switch, nice prediction into the Doublade. We're just going to go back into our Blastoise. Hopefully we can eat up an Iron Head, only just, as this will probably put us in range of being taken out by a Shadow Sneak. So there we go. Unfortunately taken out, but this will give us a chance now to... I think we'll just go into this and fire off a Thunder. Depending on what he wants to go into, we might be able to set up a Sticky Web on the subsequent turn. As he goes into the Heliolisk, he's able to eat that Thunder up, as this turn we'll go into our Flabébé. We need to get defrosted sometime, as that's going to do a hell of a lot of damage. We are 26.1, that did 26.4%. We need to hopefully get defrosted here. We're not going to, so we are going to lose our Flabébé. That Freeze Hacks is really fucking annoying. But at this point, it does mean... What can we go into? That outspeeds us by 2 base speed points if it's max speed. We need to go into our Mamoswine and just click Ice Shard. It will knock this out, but it does give him a free switch into his Doublade. There we go. There's not much we could have done about that. I mean, if he'd stayed in, he would have outsped us and killed us. We just need to make the switch back into Hector here, as he's going to go for the Shadow Sneak. That's fine. We'll just set up another Leech Seed on something, whatever he decides to go into. This is going to go into the Salamence. Right. So it's going to go for the Draco Meteor, so it's going to be a special Salamence here, as now he's probably going to switch out into something. So just going to fire off a knockoff. Whatever he wants to bring in will take a hell of a lot of damage, unless it's the Sharpedo. So it's going to bring this in. We are going to get the knockoff off, so we're able to get rid of this, which means we've got this left to deal with. So it's got a higher base speed, and he's going to get the first turn speed boost. Looks like we're going to get swept by this. Yep. So not a hell of a lot we can do about this right here. We need to go into this. He's got a high base speed. Even with the choice Scarf, he's just going to knock us out. So if we didn't get that Freeze Hacks, we might have had a chance in this battle, but yeah, not a hell of a lot we can do about it now. So, unfortunate battle there. We'll go ahead and see if we can get another one. So, alright, so we have another one here. Once again, he doesn't have any of the main problems. I mean, his team may still be a problem, but we're just going to need to wait and see. In terms of leads, what do I think? I think he might just lead off with Hydreigon in order to get U-turn, or the Mamoswine in order to get Stealth Rocks up. So he's going to do neither of those and lead off with his Camerupt, as I think first turn we will be free to just go ahead and go for the Scald, as it's going to make a nice play and go into the Goodra. We don't get the first turn burn, but that's okay. We will be free to just go into our Florges here, eating up that Thunderbolt. We don't get the Paralyze, so we don't get another round of unfortunate hacks in this battle, as we're just going to fire off a Moonblast, as he's going to make the switch back into Camerupt, doing a decent amount of damage there for a not very effective move. With the special attack drop, just going to go for another Moonblast, I'd say, we should be able to eat up whatever he wants to go for. If he sets up Stealth Rocks, we can Rapid Spin later on in the battle, as we can take Trevenant on alright with our Rapid Spinner. So he's going to go for that, as Flash Cannon did 23.3, that's fine. We're just going to stay in. If we can get another special attack drop, then holy shit, it's got Earthquake. Okay, I wasn't expecting that at all. So, mixed Mega Camerupt. Definitely something interesting to see. So Earthquake's going to do 40% to this. So, let's see. I think we're just going to need to go for the safe play again and go for the Scald. As a Trevenant comes in, if we can get a burn on this, that'll be very nice. As we should outspeed it, and Dark Pulse should be able to take it out. So Scald did 21%, as Dark Pulse will easily be able to take it out. So managed to get rid of the Trevenant, so as they just decide to forfeit. So we'll go ahead and see about getting another one. So we've had one unfortunate case of hacks, we've had one forfeit. Hopefully the third battle will be alright. We will be able to get a nice showcase with our Mamoswine here, as this person's got an interesting team. Definitely Nidoking is a threat because we've got Special Flower Bay, which would normally take on our special attackers, but it can have Sludge Wave, so that can be a problem. For Alligator's always a bit scary if it gets up Dragon Dances. In terms of leads, he's probably going to lead with the spider thing, what's it called? The Galvantula. I've got one on my team, why did I forget that? As he is going to lead off with the Galvantula, we are just going to go straight away for the Shadow Ball. It should 2-hit KO this, and it means that he can't bring in his own Chandelure for free. So we are going to fire off a second Shadow Ball. He doesn't manage to get his Sticky Web up, which is very good, as now is going to bring in his Nidoking. Probably going to go for an Earth Power here. So we're going to make the switch into our Florges, as he is going to go for the Earth Power, and now we're just going to need to scout to see if he does have the Sludge Wave. So he does, which puts us in a bit of a situation. What are we going to need on this team? We're going to need to set up Stealth Rocks, that's for sure, to get rid of these three at least. He could have Defog on the Aerodactyl, but at this point, what? I'm thinking we're going to need to sack off Chandelure here. Unfortunately, that will mean that at the moment most of our team is outsped, but now we can make the safe switch into a Mega Blastoise, Mega Evolve, and fire off a Scald here, as it's going to have the Thunderbolt. We can eat that up, and we will be able to knock the Nidoking out with the Scald, so we managed to take that out. He will be free now to bring in basically anything. Anything could potentially revenge kill us. We can just go into the Flower Bay here, eat up the Shadow Ball, nice and easily there. I'm probably going to be, I don't know, maybe Choice Scarf or something. Choice Scarf seems to be a common thing in use for that. So we've got the Wish off. We've got really shit defense, that's the only thing. Going to stay in, and as he's going to predict the Ice Fang for the Chestnut, I would expect, as he did get the flinch with that. So we're going to protect, see if he does have Stone Edge or Aerial Ace or anything. As no, he's just going to keep going for the Ice Fang. So we can take the Ice Fangs. If he doesn't get a freeze, and he doesn't get stupid flinch hacks all the time, that should be fine. He's going to go back out into the Chandelure as we get the Wish off, as we can just protect this turn, scout out what he's going to go for. He's going to lock himself into Trick, so obviously it is a Choice Scarf one, so this will just give us a free switch into our Mega Blastoise, obviously immune to that Trick, as he's going to go into the Feraligatr, Can we get a burn here? We do. So, I mean, that's what? That was the second scored we went for. As is just going to forfeit. So, going alright, up to 1281. Still lowish, but we're able to get enough good battles here so far. So, we're only at 20 minutes, so we'll go ahead and see about getting another battle here. As this person looks to have a fairly annoying team, to be honest. Belly Drum Slurpuff could be annoying. Mega Sharpedo, we've seen it already run through our team once when we got the freeze hacks. This can be annoying. We do have Bug Buzz on that. He doesn't have any way of getting rid of hazards though, so I'm thinking this may be a good lead. As first turn, what are we going to go for? First turn we're just going to go for the Thunder. He was probably predicting us to go for the Sticky Web first turn. Going for an attack, bring us down to his Sash, outspeed us the next turn with the +1 speed boost. Obviously we outplayed that. As is going to go into the Entei. We do kind of need this for... If he sets up a sub... If this is a sub-seed, Whimsicott, that's really annoying. And Bug Buzz will hit through its subs. But we do also want to set up a Sticky Web at some point for the rest of his team. So we're going to make the switch into Blastoise, because if he went for... Wow, that is definitely choice banded. Because we now know that, we can go into our Chandelure. And what's he going to go? He's probably going to go into the Goodra on the Chandelure. So he decides to go into the Whimsicott. Okay. Nothing on his team really wants to take a Shadow Ball. There we go. So Fire Blast was a bit too obvious that turn. As this turn we can just go into our Florges, eat up any attack from this Goodra. As going to make a nice double switch out into the Whimsicott. As this turn we're just going to go for a Moonblast in case he wanted to go for the, I don't know, go for the Taunt or something. So his setup Leech Seed, probably going to go for a Protect this turn. No, he's just going to go for a sub, so we will be able to hit behind the sub with the Bug Buzz, because Fairy resists Bug, doesn't it? So this will just be neutral, but we will be able to take it out behind the sub. As this turn, he'll probably go back into the Entei, which we now know is choice banded. We've taken what we need to out with this Galvantula, so I think we can just stay in here. He goes into the Slurpuff. Why would you go into a Slurpuff? We're just going to fire off a Thunder here. See that it is unburdened, as he's just going to go for the Belly Drum. Down to 16% with the Leech Seed that will bring him up. As this turn we'll see if we can get off Sticky Web. It's not really important anymore, but you know, it would still help, as he's doubled at 267 speed, so we won't be able to outspeed it with that. We probably can just take it out with a choice banded Ice Shard. There we go. So Mamoswine able to put in work even without the Sticky Web support, as now this will just be a free switch for him into what? Probably the Entei. I mean, as he saw before, choice banded Extreme Speed did a shit ton to everything. It decides to go into this. We are choice banned, so we're definitely not going to stay in on this. But what can we go into? We might just switch out into Flava Bay. I don't think he'll be able to do much to us. He decides to set up late game Stealth Rocks, so you know, that will affect some of my team members. We do still have our own Rapid Spinner, so that won't be much of an issue, as Goodra's his special defensive wall, so he could switch that in, but we will be hitting it super effectively, and it can't do much to us in return. Uxie was probably his defensive wall, maybe? He might just stay in. Otherwise he'll go out into Entei, which, you know, we've seen Entei is a problem. Choice Band and Entei just wrecks anything. I mean, Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, and what's the other fire move that gets this 6th gen? Ho-Oh's thing. Sacred Fire. That's it. Sacred Fire's burn chance would be annoying, but otherwise, I think we've got this pretty much under control. Unless we make some really shit misplays, I think this battle will be pretty good. Hopefully we won't get another forfeit, as my opponent's taking well. Start up the timer there, and see how we go with this. So, obviously this team is working pretty well at the moment. I didn't know how it would actually go. I did try a couple of battles with it, which is where I found out Mega Beedrill sweeps it. So luckily we haven't seen any Mega Beedrills this session. But yeah, hopefully I can bring some other good teams out to you guys. I'm not really the best with team building, but it's always entertaining to try and make the teams myself. So this person is really thinking about their decision here. They are going to make the switch into Entei, as that's going to do a solid 19%. We're just going to go for the Protect, scout out what he wants to do, as he's going to lock himself into Stone Edge. So, Stone Edge is a free switch into our Chestnut, and if we get a Toxic on this, if we get a Toxic on anything, it's going to speed up the battle. So it's going to go for the Fire Blast there, managing to hit it, as that did a shit ton. 84.7%. So we're just going to go for the Spiky Shield, just to get a bit of leftover recovery. We don't really need Hector for anything anymore. It's just sort of stalling this out. Mind you, I wouldn't mind a Toxic on the Uxie. So, Uxie, I don't know. I pronounce it probably really weirdly. I don't know. As this will be, again, a free switch out into our Flava Bay, so he'd made the double switch as well into the Entei. We can scout again, going for the Protect, seeing what he wants to lock himself into, going for the Sacred Fire. Okay, so will the switch into Chandelure be too obvious? Guja's at 61% with the Toxic. We kind of need this, but I think... So it's just going to stay and go for the Sacred Fire, as we are going to get a bit of damage off with that, but we will unfortunately go down to the burn. So I guess we made the wrong prediction there. But at this point, we'll go into this. We'll fire off a Scald. Even if he wants to go into this, should be alright. We might be able to get a burn on this, or a Dark Pulse damage on that, as he is going to keep his Entei and go into Uxie. That did a lot of damage. Well, I mean, he's going to set up the light screen, as Dark Pulse is still going to do 37% through the light screen. So now is what he's going to predict to do. He's going to go for the Memento, so he's probably going to go back into the Entei, at which point we don't really need Hector anymore. We'll just sack Hector off if he wants to go for... He's going to go for the Sacred Fire. What should we do? We'll keep this for Icicle Crashing that. Otherwise, we'll go into Chandelure. That may be slightly too obvious. We'll go for the Trick, predicting the switch out into that. So we get the Trick. What do we get? We get the Assault Vest, as he is going to be Choice Scarf locked. So at this point, I think we can just go for the Shadow Ball. So he's going to miss the Draco Meteor. That's going to suck for him. But he is on the countdown timer now with that toxic damage. So we'll fire off another Shadow Ball as he gets a crit I don't know how much that mattered. We did have the Assault Vest, of course, after he tricked it onto us. As with a Choice Scarf, he probably will outspeed stuff, so... He's got his Entei left. What's he going to need to lock himself into with that? Because that will dictate whether we win or lose here. Choice Band Entei just wrecks everything. Because if he locks Sacred Fire, then we can probably take a hit with Blastoise. If he locks himself into Stone Edge, he could miss. If he locks himself into Extreme Speed, we can probably take a hit with Mamoswine. So it all comes down to what he wants to lock himself into. So it's going to go into the Entei. We are going to go into Blastoise just to see what is going to go for. Coming down to the wire for this one, that's for sure. Because what is Entei's usual moves? Obviously he's revealed Sacred Fire and is revealed Extreme Speed. Maybe he has Iron Head for fairies, I don't know, and Stone Edge, or Flare Blitz, or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping, like, Hack's prevailing. I'm hoping we've got this battle in the bag. Otherwise, yeah. Come on. Obviously thinking over his decision here. Alexi Diaz. Also, let me know if you like the Showdown layout. A lot of people seem to be using it. I like it. It seems to be a neat little layout, so yeah. Just wait until this person makes a decision. So there we go, they finally decide to make a move. They did lock themselves into Sacred Fire as we switched out into our Blastoise. We do have Thick Fat on Mamoswine. I'm hoping we'll be able to eat up a hit from it as he goes for the Sacred Fire, and that will just knock us out. So we probably should have stayed in on that last turn. They had a really good ranking though, up in the 1400s, so I'm not surprised that we lost that one. So we lost 2, we won 2 from forfeits. I don't know how that really says for the team, but I mean, it was a fun concept. I like Choice Band Mamoswine. It's ridiculously powerful, but if you guys did all enjoy, make sure you let me know. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and hopefully I will be bringing more videos back to YouTube reasonably consistently now that I'm on holidays, and then my uni semester's a lot easier next semester. So hopefully they'll be continuing back through there. So go ahead and leave your support, guys, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Peace.